All right, so we're going to look at how to solve equations with variables on both sides. My first example says 2 minus 2n equals 3n plus 17. Now, we want to cancel out one of these n's completely. So I can either cancel out negative 2n or I can cancel out 3n. So if I look at negative 2n, to completely cancel that out, I'm going to add 2n to both sides. Now, the reason I'm adding 2n and I'm not dividing by negative 2 is because negative 2 divided by negative 2 would leave me with n. So it's not completely canceling it out. So in order to completely cancel it out, I'm going to add the 2 and the variable to the other side. So negative 2n and positive 2n cancel out. And then I'm going to add that 2n to the 3n because they're like terms. So 3n plus 2n is going to give us 5n plus 17 equals, and we're still left with 2 on the left side. Now you have a two-step equation that you're already familiar with. So I'm going to cancel out the 17. So I'm going to subtract 17 on both sides. And 2 minus 17 is going to give us negative 15 equals 5n. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And I will be left with negative 3 equals n. Right, for our second example, we have 2 parentheses 5 minus d equals 2 minus 4d. So when I see parentheses here, that tells me that I need to distribute. So I'm going to multiply out the 2. So 2 times 5 is 10 minus 2d equals 2 minus 4d. And again, I have variables on both sides here. So I'm either going to cancel out the negative 2d or the negative 4d. It does not matter which one you choose to cancel out. So let's say I cancel out the 2. So I'm going to add 2d to this side, and then I'm going to add 2d to the negative 4d because they are like terms. So this is going to leave me with negative 2d, and I'm dropping everything else down. All right, now I'm going to solve this like normal. So I'm going to cancel out that 2 by subtracting 2. 10 minus 2 is going to give me 8 equals negative 2d. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. And that is going to give us negative 4 equals d. All right, my next example, 3 minus 2, parentheses b minus 2 equals 2 minus 7b. So same thing here. I'm going to distribute first. So I'm going to distribute the negative 2. So negative 2 times b is negative 2b. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Don't forget to drop down 3. And bring everything else down. Now on the left side, I can combine like terms before I start simplifying. So I have 3 plus 4, which is going to give me 7, minus 2b equals 2 minus 7b. All right, now I'm going to look at these variables here on both sides, and I want to cancel one of them out. So let's say I do plus 2b, I'm going to do plus 2b here. Negative 7 plus 2 is going to give me negative 5. And then I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. And I'm going to come up here. So 7 minus 2 is going to give us 5 equals negative 5b. And then I would divide by negative 5. And that is going to give us negative 1. All right, my last example, m equals negative 4 plus m plus 2. So remember, a negative sign outside parentheses means negative 1. So I'm going to multiply out the negative 1. So it's going to give me negative 4 minus m plus 2. And then I'm left with m on this side. Right, I can combine like terms on the right side. I can put together negative 4 and positive 2, which is going to give me negative 2 minus m equals m. And I'm going to choose to get rid of this minus m here. That way I have the variable on one side and the number on the other side. So m plus m is going to give us 2m equals negative 2. And then I would divide by negative 2, and I'm going to get m equals negative 1. Right, so these ones, now we have some decimals and fractions. So this first one, the concept is the same as what we were doing before. We're just distributing a decimal instead. So 0.2 times 10 is going to give us 2. And 0.2 times negative 5 is going to give us negative 1. And we're going to drop everything else down. Right, so same thing now. I have variables on both sides, so I'm going to cancel them out. So I'm going to say plus 1c here, plus 1c on this side. So 5c plus 1c is going to give us 6c minus 16 equals 2. And then I would add 16 to both sides. So 16 plus 2 is going to give us 18 equals 6c. And then I'm going to divide by 6, and that is going to give us 3 equals c. All right, next one, same type of problem. So I'm going to distribute the 4. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And 4 times negative 3/4 is going to give us negative 3t. Right, and then same thing here. So variables on both sides. I want to cancel one out. So minus 3t, minus 3t. Negative 3 and negative 3 is going to give us negative 6. And then I would add 12 to both sides. Negative 18 plus 12 is going to give us negative 6 equals negative 6t. And then I divide by negative 6. And that is going to give us 1 equals t. All right, next one, same thing. So a half times 4 is going to give us 2. And a half times 8 is going to give us 8. Don't forget to drop down that 3 in the front. And then I can combine like terms on the left, so I can put together positive 8 and positive 3, which is going to give us 11. So 11 plus 2a equals 9 minus 2a. And then I'm going to cancel out one of these variables here. So I have plus 2a, so I can subtract 2. And negative 2 and negative 2 is going to give us negative 4. So I'm left with 11 equals 9 minus 4a. And then I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides. 11 minus 9 is going to give us 2. So 2 equals negative 4a. Then I'm going to divide by negative 4. And we're left with a equals, and this will give us negative 1/2 or negative 0.5. Right, and then lastly, negative 1/4 a minus 4 equals 7/4 a minus 3. So same thing with these variables on both sides. I'm going to cancel one out. So if I say plus 1/4 here and plus 1/4 here, 7/4 plus 1/4 is going to give us 8/4. And 8/4 actually just simplifies to 2. So we get 2a minus 3 equals negative 4. And then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So negative 4 plus 3 is going to give us negative 1 equals 2a. And then I would divide by 2. So then we have negative 1 divided by 2, which is going to give us, again, negative 1/2 or negative 0.5 for our answer.